Welcome into Tennessee Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Jay Sr., here to break down the Titans' victory over the Indianapolis Colts, a big AFC South win, and even though Tennessee turned the football over 3 times, still able to escape with a 25-16 victory. Carson Wentz did not look good or healthy for Indianapolis. They fall to 0-3 on the season. You can make the argument that no team has had a more difficult schedule to start off the 2021 campaign than Indianapolis. They start off the season with the Seahawks, then they take on the Rams, then they go down to Nashville, and they lose to the Titans 25-16. Ryan Tannehill, not necessarily a great day for him by any means. Still, though, 21-35 for 212 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, actually. Derrick Henry eclipsed the century mark. He was very good, returning to that form that we saw him last year when he rushed for more than 2,000 yards. And I kind of mentioned this off the top. I thought Tennessee in this game, they weren't really explosive. They weren't dominant on either end of the field because I thought the Colts offense, even though they're injury-riddled, did have some success with moving the football. But Tennessee did enough to win this game. And that's very, very critical this early in the season with a very long season, 17 games now here in 2021, in a division that's somewhat up for grabs, and an AFC conference that through 3 weeks is very highly contested. So as we continue to break this game down, I do want to ask you a question, and I just want you to get into the comments section. Can you grade the Titans' Week 3 performance for me against the Colts? A, B, C, D, or F? Be sure to get those grades in the comment section down below. Big injury news to get to with Tennessee. On the offensive end of the field, A.J. Brown left early in this game in the first quarter with a hamstring injury. He did not return, so he had no impact at all on this ball game. We'll continue to monitor his situation because sometimes those soft tissue injuries really can linger, and when A.J. Brown is healthy, he's one of the best and most dynamic wide receivers across the National Football League. As for Ryan Tannehill, I think he's missed Arthur Smith throughout the first 3 weeks of the year. Week 1, this offense wasn't good against the Cardinals. Week 2, a furious comeback on the road against Seattle, a very, very good win for the Titans. And then in Week 3, against Indianapolis, Ryan Tannehill was really just okay. 18-27, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. As I mentioned, this Titans offense with 3 turnovers on the day. Somewhat surprising they were able to win as much as they were able to win by. Derrick Henry, probably his best game of the season so far. He was excellent. Toted the rock 28 times for 113 yards. They included him in the pass game as well. He caught 3 balls and moved the chains on a couple of occasions, both on the ground, in the air. Derrick Henry, King Henry, looks to be totally back. As for Carson Wentz, his injury status going into this game was all over the place, right? Because he suffered not 1, but 2 sprained ankles last week in that loss against the Rams. And he was a game-time decision. Went through his workouts prior to the game. The Colts elected for him to play, and he wasn't much of a factor at all. And his Colts tenure has gotten off to the greatest start. Colts now 0-3, as I said, but Wentz hasn't really put up big numbers. He did not again today. 19-37, 194 yards, no tutties, no interceptions. He was actually pretty just okay and very bland. His downward trajectory in his career since he almost won that MVP award back in 2017 with the Eagles continues to go downward. Do you think the Titans, after this win, are the best team in the AFC South? Look, I think they're better than the Colts. I think they're definitely better than the Texans. You look across this division, Tennessee does look like the best team across the board, offensively and defensively. Some explosive players on the offensive end of the ball. And on defense, much improved the last 2 weeks after they got completely boat raced against Arizona. Type Y for yes, you think the Titans are the best team in the AFC South. Type N for no. Get those votes in. And as always, thanks for watching, and make sure you hit that follow button here on Newsbreak.